Hello friends, I'm glad you're here. Outside is my favorite place to be, and I love all of the elements of nature and of course capturing them with my camera. So I have truly enjoyed creating this course for you. In this course, you will learn what nature photography is, about gear and settings, about creativity and challenges that you can run into while photographing nature, and we'll discuss editing options. There are even several exercises throughout this course which, if you choose to do them, will help you solidify your understanding of the concepts. As usual, this course is organized into a playlist. It is broken down into modules, each with a handful of videos on that module's topic. I designed my courses this way rather than as one long video so that you can easily watch them all in one sitting, or you can watch one module at a time or even one video at a time. That way you can fit this course into however you learn the best or however much time you have to devote to it each day. As usual, you have access to this course for as long as you're a member. No matter how you go about watching these videos, whether that be all in one day or over the course of a week or more, by the end of this course, you will be well equipped with the knowledge to confidently venture out on your own nature photography pursuits. And as a side note, you don't need to have any particular gear to complete this course. If you have a camera on your phone or a point and shoot camera, you'll be A-okay here. First, let's discuss what nature photography is. Backing up just a moment though. Simply put, when we talk about different types of photography, we're often talking about the subject of the photo. A portrait's subject is a person. A landscape photo is of, you guessed it, a landscape. Other times it can imply a style or a purpose. Commercial photography, for example, it doesn't describe the subject, but rather the purpose, to help sell something. Saying nature photography falls into the first category. The name describes the subject, but the word nature can really include any number of things. Flowers and plants, a landscape, animals, bugs. But in photography, we usually narrow what we mean by nature, and there really isn't one definition out there that rules them all. So let's define what nature photography is for the purposes of this course. Throughout this course, we are going to be discussing nature, but rather than an animal or a broad landscape, I mean the smaller things within that landscape. The flowers and the plants, the rocks, the dirt, a tree, the leaves on a tree, clouds. A photo where the subject of that photo is some component of nature. Now again, I realize that animals and bugs and such are all a part of nature, and if those are a part of what you call nature photography, that's totally fine and completely valid. But for the purposes of this course, I am drawing the line between the leaves and rocks and such and the critters. I'll discuss critters in the next course that I'm developing on wildlife photography. I want to say one more time though, to make sure we're all clear, that definition that I gave for nature photography is for the purposes of this course only, so that you know what you'll be learning about. Especially with nature photography, it's a nebulous classification. The line between different types of photography in general are completely academic. They have no impact on the actual work that you're doing with your camera or the story that you're telling. Now, I've explained what we mean by nature photography for the purposes of this course. I've shared what you will learn in this course, but what about what you will not learn? In this course, I will not explain all of the basic photography concepts or all of the different types of gear, though we will discuss those things in terms of different gear to use or settings you might consider. I will assume that you have a basic understanding of photography terminology and concepts like exposure, as well as gear and how to use your gear. So I won't define absolutely everything. I won't explain how to adjust aperture on your camera. However, I do go step by step through all of that in my Basics of Photography course. So if you find yourself getting stuck on terms or concepts as we are going through this course, I highly recommend heading over to that Basics course to either watch the entire thing or find the module or the video or two that will help you refresh your memory. I will link to that course in the description box of each of the videos in this course, so it's easy to hop over there. And remember, you have access to all of the courses that I have for the entire time that you're a member. So there's no pressure to finish this course all in one sitting. If you start watching this and you get a little confused with terminology or concepts, by all means, spend some time learning the basics and then come back. This course will be waiting for you. Don't worry though, even if you aren't familiar with any of the terminology and you simply keep watching these videos, you will still learn quite a bit. Throughout the course, if you have questions, let me know. You can comment on the video that you're watching or email me at the special members only email address. Now with all of that said, let's move on. Before I move into the next module though, on gear and settings that you might use for nature photography, which will include your phone's camera by the way, let's jump into an exercise in the next video. In it, I will also discuss how landscape and nature photography can sometimes go hand in hand in your storytelling through photography.